back on the trail, just past a cute little tea room house that sold, well, a few cold drinks and some fruit. So we bought some items for for lunch really, because we are in need of resupplying. But this will get us through the day, and it's actually beautiful, typical English scenery, as you'd imagine from watching things on TV. Dry stone walls surrounding the path, fields, big trees, mountains to the left and to the right. Amazing, perfect weather. It was quite warm, but there's some cloud and there's a nice breeze now. Look at all these walls there. Fields of green, mountains. So I think we'll walk for quite a bit along this valley until we probably go up again, and then we'll go into Grasmere, where there's at least there's a supermarket and a camping place. We're off to a fresh start today. Nice creek, view of the valley, mountains, cute houses. Look at this. And if you look down in the valley, we did come a long way already. If you look at the trees, there's some breezes here, and we're definitely needing that. There was a patch without any wind. That was hot. That was very hot. So now we can cool off a bit with the breeze. Just met a few people that said who said it get better as we go higher. More wind to cool us off. Sheep all over. The funny thing, they don't get sheared. Sheep shearing because the hair falls off on its own. And there's a little lamb. Hey, quite black. No reason to keep the sheep because of their wool, apparently, or so I've been told. Water falling off the rocks there makes me want to drink a lot of it. Quite thirsty walking up here in the warmth. We have water, but some nice cool stuff. Ooh, I think I'm gonna get some. Nice stream, this must be cool. Let's get some water. Camera in the hand. Very slippery. Looks clear. Nice and cool. Whew. We just needed another break, or I did. We climbed up this mountain, really climbing, it's no walking anymore. An amazing drop down if you look back now. We can only see part of what we've walked today. This was really steep. I think we actually lost the path a bit, but we did encounter a beautiful little flower by doing that. So Every time we think we're nearly there, we still get higher. Amazing how far we can look now. And there's this valley, I think right here. I think we'll soon go down, or not. Stone man created by fellow walkers. This is where the moors are created. It's typical kind of moss. These plants, the moisture. Typical plants for boggy terrain. If you see these, you know it's going to be wet. Even more. Amazingly white. Veenpluis in Dutch. Whole field is white. A lot of times we think we've reached the top and you still have to go further. But this is very convincing, the other side. The sheep run for us, but along the track, so every time we meet up again. Wow, what a view. We'll probably go down there in the valley. We're heading down again and slowly going into Grasmere, and this is already starting to look like culture instead of nature. So 3.5 more kilometers. Actually going up quite slow. This is a better path, but a lot of times there's bigger rocks that don't let you go very fast. So this is better for now. This route animation gets really nice when there are some mountains in view. As you can see, we walked through the valley from Borrowdale and then slowly up the mountain, getting higher and higher, steeper and steeper as well, until we reach the top of over 600 meters. And after that, going down again into the next valley, and then we head into Grasmere. So, quite a few things have happened since yesterday. We walked until the youth hostel, expecting to camp there, but it was full. It was only theoretically full. Due to regulations, they're only allowed 5 tents, while they have quite a space. Anyway, there was a no-go. So we would refer to another campsite that did not answer their phone. So we found a hostel with a room, not extremely far, but the car took still 20 minutes. The taxi we booked. Now we're in the fly zone. So, well, then we had a night in the hostel, and this morning we walked back to Grasmere. That was about 4 kilometers, so a lot shorter than the car drove, but that's the way it goes with lakes and mountains. It was a couple of 100 meters up before we were going down again, and then we could do some shopping, but that other camping was still unavailable. We finally spoke to him, because that was our plan, to stay and have a rest day. No rest for the wicked. So plan C, and that is continue the trail and just go up the mountain and find a place to wild camp. In the meantime, it's still as hot as it was, and except that it's started to rain. Mostly light rain, but we put on our rain gear, which was necessary for a bit. Although after a while you get more wet on the inside than the outside. So took them off, and then it started raining again, and then we left it. Anyway, it's still so hot, the rain doesn't cool, so we're left with nothing to do but sweat and try to drink. Luckily, there's plenty of water. For a moment I was doubting if there was enough. So thirsty yesterday as well. But we still got some fruit juice and some milk from the store, and the fruit juice is gone, but milk is still there. Then you really know what thirst is. Oh yeah. So now we continue up and we go to the, what's the name? Grisedale Tarn, I think. Anyway, Tarn, it's a lake on top of the mountain, or maybe sort of a bowl high up there. I think if we look there, you see the mountain. We'll probably go up there and higher, probably, as it always goes. Ah, a little sunshine now. That's where we come from, Grasmere. Ooh. So we already did at least 150 meters altitude, but it's a total of 500, so a little rest well deserved, and then continue on. These and this beautiful little yellow flowers, they grow on this little stream, and I think they're special to the area. Another beautiful yellow little flower, attracting little mosquitoes. All the layers in colors, the farther away, more haziness. We've made it to Grisedale Tarn, was it? Some sort of tarn. Very nice view. So here we're going to try and find a place to camp, and up there probably that mountain is Helvellyn, if I pronounce correctly, for the daredevils and people with some energy left. Go up there and you can walk along a very narrow ridge. We'll take the easier road. Today was divided in two parts. First, we hiked back towards Grasmere from the hostel in Ultrawater along Grasmere Lake. And then we needed to do some shopping, and we found a little supermarket. Quite busy, a touristy little town, but we found a nice and quiet spot in the park just outside the center for having some lunch. After that, back on the trail and headed up the mountain. Finally going towards Grisedale Tarn, where we find a beautiful spot to camp, and as you can see here, quite going really up the mountain with beautiful views over Grasmere. Different day today, clouds, a lot of wind, quiet moment at this moment, but you probably hear the noise despite the windshield. Oh, look at that. Some people were still going up the path of that mountain in this weather. Down there the valley is lighter. Let's go there. The tent has taken a beating there was thunder, rain, storm, especially with the wind blowing it like this to the inner and outer layer. It's just it was just sticking together, never getting wet, and then we're on a slight slope, so we also slide down a little bit towards the tent that's wet, the edge. Okay, so steeping back, a little wet. Luckily now it's been dry for at least 15 minutes, picking up very quickly. All we have to do is to do the tent. It's a lighter pack, wearing our clothes. It's an adventure though. Waves on the lake. Look at that. We came from that, not really that top. That was for the very enthusiastic people. With our packs, it already felt like having a sail on your back, but you don't want to go all the way speed with the wind. So this is our view into the valley, and now all these stone walls. Look at how high they go up, all the way up to that mountain, all the way to the top. Oh my God, what a work that would have been. I think we're really in the valley now, and beautiful streams back, whatever they call it. There was a restoration back project just a little while ago, and then I thought I saw a dipper, the waterspreeuw in Dutch, that we were looking for. It wasn't yet, but just a little further we actually did see one, and it sat there giving itself a bit of a wash. And we could see it very clearly with the binoculars, the monocular actually, a tiny lightweight thing. And now this beautiful area with the creek. I love it. Such a clear water, quite deep here. So there's been some light rain on and off, sometimes a bit heavier, enough to keep our rain clothes on. It's really maybe 10 or 12 degrees, like compared to yesterday, must have been 25. Big difference. Even wearing gloves up the mountain, can take them off I think now. But especially when it's wet, it's nice because we handle the trekking poles all the time. So we've settled down at Side Farm Camping and was able to let things dry out a bit. There's still patchy rain. Cooking some nice dinner. We went by the corner shop in Glen Ridding, just 2 kilometers up, so we could get some fresh, like paprika, onion, and some pasta, and some sauce. We normally wouldn't be buying like in a glass jar, too heavy, but now it's only a little small distance. Due to the fact that we had to improvise, our day 6 was relatively short. And it's also quite easy, just going down the mountain. Although really steep descents, never easy. But later on in the valley, yeah, that makes it easy. So we had time to go to Glenridding to do some shopping, and then returning to the trail and going to the side farm camping. Next time on the Coast to Coast, we'll be climbing the highest peak, Kitsy Pike, with nearly 800 meters high. Camping at Horsewater Lake with a peregrine falcon visiting us, nesting near the cliffs. And then it's the end of the Lake District, heading into the Yorkshire Dales up towards Shap.
A rather big crack in the wall. I'm safe last night.